So tonight for UFC 165, this was my first UFC event where I was trying to put out articles as fast as humanly possible. Because I've always seen people do this. You know, you see a fight and you go online and there's a whole article up. So I was like interested and see how do these guys do it. So I was able to do it for the first 4 fights. I got to the Bones versus Gustafsson fight and I was like, let me just enjoy it. So I haven't even wrote the article. I'm going to write it as soon as I get finished with this video. But simply, I had Gustafsson easily winning the first 3 rounds. I can't think of any way somebody watching the fight can give Jones one of the first 3 rounds. I can see a judge giving him a round if they missed something because they're cage side and they didn't see an angle or shot. But all John Jones was doing was the equivalent of a boxing pot shot, but he was doing it with his feet, trying to do little trick kicks and everything, but Gustafsson was busting him up. He was killing him with the left jab. His right was crisp as he was sneaking it overhand. I was shocked. When I saw the first round, it reminded me of the Machida round, but I think Gustafsson's first round was a more clear round to judge than it was for Machida. And then we get into the second round, and I start sitting up. I'm like, holy shit. Like, is this guy really beating John Jones on the foot? And I think at this point, he had stuff like 3 or 4 Jones takedowns. So I'm like, John can't take this guy down, and he's killing John on the hands. The only thing, okay, well, maybe he just will get 2 good rounds and just will blow his stock up. So we get into the third round. It's more the same. And it's getting closer and closer to the end of the third round. He's hitting John with stuff. Then he starts teeing off on Jones, getting him in the corner, backing him up, hitting him. He probably, I can't remember. My head's a little phasey, but I think he stuffed at this time 6 takedowns. And he took John Jones down by this point. So I'm like, wow, like this guy's about to beat John Jones. So when the third round was over with, I started sending my man, another writer, Anthony Springer. I started sending him messages like, yo, man, because I know he wasn't watching the fight. I'm like, John losing, yo. John about to lose the belt. Like, if John don't knock this guy out, it's over. So we get into the 4th round, and it's a little bit more competitive now, but John is beat up at this point. He's cut over the eyes swollen. This eye starting to swell. His lips are starting to swell. It's like, I've never seen John like this. He either was extremely tired or he was mentally starting to look defeated. But when he would take his shots, they were meaningful shots. And but I had Gustafsson winning close to 4th round, and which would have been a clear victory. And then Jones finally caught him because he threw a lot of spinning elbows this fight. Let me start right here and do an analysis. I caught this when John fought Machida, and he just confirmed it tonight, going 5 rounds doing it. John Jones puts on an illusion that he has so many bags of tricks. He does not. He acts like he has all of these different tools that he can use, but I see that he's just like every other fighter that goes to the drawing board. He's going to try to go for the, I can't think of the name of the kick, with the front kick, where it almost looks like he pushes your knee back. He tries that. He tries his spinning kick when he gets tired. Or he wants to try to do the zombie thing. He couldn't do the zombie thing where he pulls his hand out and try to break the distance and sneak his elbows in. He couldn't do that tonight because Big John was refereeing, and he had already gave those guys a warning about an eye poke because John poked Gus in the eye. But he does this same routine when he's frustrated with fighters. When he was frustrated with Machida, he did the same thing. But he eventually caught Machida in the 2nd round. In this fight, he did the same thing. He became very predictable. John Jones is very predictable once he gets flustered. He does the same thing over and over again. But nonetheless, he caught him with the elbow, and I was like, fight's over. I mean, Gustafsson was hurt. He started hitting him with knees. I was like, he put up a great effort, but it was over. But he survived. So I'm thinking, I think I sent Anthony another message to start the 5th round that I think Jones is going to knock Gustafsson out at the first beginning of the 5th round. But he didn't. Gustafsson looked a little bit stronger. But I still saw in the exchanges in the 5th, I thought John Jones was winning the exchanges. I did. And they both look really tired. But I wish I can take a picture to start the 5th round when they put the camera on both boxers. John just looked beat up. He looked beat up mentally. He looked beat up physically. He looked like he just wanted to go home. But the fifth round's over with. I give that fifth round to John Jones. Close, they both were tired. I think John Jones finally got his takedown that he was looking for in this round, but Gus popped right back up. This was an all stand-up war. And after the fight, I was shocked. I was shocked that he won on all three judges' cards. I had Gustafsson win the first 3 rounds. I had Bones winning the last 2 rounds. I don't understand how you can give any of the first 3 rounds to Jones. I don't know anything that he did to win the first 3 rounds, any significant strike that he did, any combinations that he did. He didn't do anything to win the first 3 rounds. I thought he needed a knockout or it was a done deal. But, hey, all he needed was one of those rounds. So I had it 48-47. But one judge had it 49-46. One judge said that John Jones won every single round except for one. That's just mind blowing to me. That I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, after coming off what happened last week with Mayweather, I have no idea how a judge can think that he won that. There was boos after they announced John Jones won the fight. He praised, and said that he got the war that he was looking for. But after the fight, Gustafsson was running around the cage. Somebody was asking him a question. He looked okay. He looked fine. John Jones had to be helped, walking really slow down the cage. He was limping and hurting all in the back. He looked fucked up. He didn't look like the guy that won the fight. So I think, I don't know if I want to say robbery. I just don't see how somebody can give John Jones one the first 3 rounds, though. But nonetheless, I think they should do a rematch. I think in a rematch, John Jones is going to win more decisively because he has the tenacity. He has the team that's going to review the tapes. I think he can make a bigger adjustment than what Gustafsson could make. I think he's going to try to close the distance. I think he's going to try to use his elbows even more. So I think the closest Gustafsson could come to winning the title, he just lost it. I think John Jones will win easily the next fight. But that's it, man. That's my little recap. Let me go ahead and actually put this in written form. You can check out all of my stuff on various sites, but you will see these posted on knockoutnation.com. Holla.